and salutations, it's me, Salty. Welcome back to Juice and Soys, and today we're going over the Hasbro PulseCon exclusive Hoth Wampa from the Black Series. This was $30 on Hasbro Pulse, and when the box art was originally released, it was just a matte finish with Kenner-inspired graphics and all. But when it finally arrived, it's this kind of holographic, shiny material, which my camera doesn't like very much. But regardless of that fact, you see here on this side, we get this big kind of picture with the Tauntaun and what appears to be, just based on the face, the original Hoth Luke that they released in the 2-pack with the original Wampa. So, if I'm not mistaken, a new Luke has been announced, or, well, new Luke, so it's probably going to be the same body, just with face print on it, but he's been announced. On this side of the box, we get Hoth Wampa again, some artwork with the arm off, a little bit of a read-up. On the back of the box, some more images, Hoth Wampa on the back of the flap. Again, Luke's upside down with the picture. Just another picture of the Wampa on this part of the box. On the top, another picture, what it is. On the bottom, what it is with a barcode. All that out of the way, I'm going to cut it open. We'll go over his articulation and we'll compare him to the original Wampa, which, just kind of looking at him, I'm not really seeing much that's going to be different other than paint, but we're going to do it anyway. So here's the Wampa out of the box, and just quickly glancing at the other Wampa, it's like 99.999% the same sculpt. The only difference I could see was the hair down here on the left knee. This has a little kind of bump out where it doesn't on the original, and that's it. That's the only difference I could find. So everything else comes down to paint. You see that they've taken away the blood spattering around the mouth and the chest and added paint to the inside of the palms. And they've taken away the yellow, made it brown, changed the color on the horns to kind of from a gray to a dark gray, almost black. Inside the mouth is a pink color where it used to be black, and the lips are now brown versus gray. The toenails are now black instead of gray. Otherwise, there's just paint application, really. He still has some of the yellow, just in different spots, where it's on the side and the back of the legs, where it was on the knee down on this one. That's really about it. And the paint is different on the inside of the kind of wounded arm or arm that comes off. So the original had red all around the inside. I don't know if this is the same on all of them, but there it is on the inside. They kind of missed some spots here, but that's about it. Where the new one kind of skimped on the paint. They didn't get it all the way kind of around this peg, and they still missed some spots on the inside. So that's about it. But since we're here, let's go over articulation. The head itself is simply on a ball. There's no hinge or anything. As you can see, just a ball. It pops off very easily, pops back on. But because of all this fur and everything, it kind of crashes whenever you try to turn. So if you wanted to be able to turn, just kind of rest it on the ball and the head can turn. You know, you just got to work with the gaps a little bit. Otherwise, you can get it to turn, but it's going to be very tight and you're going to end up with the same thing anyway. So depends on what's easier for you. The right shoulder can spin 360 with ease because it is on a peg, but because it's only on a peg, there's no out at all. Right elbow comes up at a 90. There's an elbow swivel in there, and even though you can't see the hinge, there is a hinge on the wrist. It's just buried deep in there. So we get some swivel. It just crashes into the fur here. We get a small amount of pivot on in and out. Conversely, the left shoulder, also spins, but because it doesn't readily pop out, you can get it to come up past 90 with a little bit of force, and it shares the same articulation for the rest of the arm. You can get him to lean forward a little bit, lean back a little bit further. You get your side to side. You get some swivel. That's as far forward as he can kick. He can kick back considerably far, given his size. That's all the further that he can kick out. We have thigh swivel. Single joint in the knee comes up that far with a knee swivel. There's a swivel for the ankle up here at the top. It goes back that far, forward that far, and we have ankle rocker. And that about sums it up for today. I feel like $30 is kind of fair for this because that's about the going rate for a deluxe figure, which the Wampa I think would qualify just based on size. I think they really could have fixed the shoulder thing. Like they really could have done the hinge and still have it pop out like they do with, Bath figures, for example. So that really should have been updated, but we got what we got. I happen to really like Wampas, and I'm on a quest to kind of collect every figure version of a Wampa, at least one of every version that they've released. He meets that requirement for me. I feel like this might be a retail release later, probably in different packaging, like just the normal deluxe box for Black Series, because I think, unless I'm forgetting one, I think most of the exclusives have been released later Even the Phantom Menace card back ones from last year, year before, or something like that. They weren't released on the card back, but they were. One was in the Archive series, and the other one was single release Black Series. So there's a good chance that he'll be released individually as a deluxe figure later. Especially since, again, I'm pretty sure they're doing the Hoth Luke individually, so I don't see why they wouldn't do that or make this available again. If you liked what you saw today, then all that I ask is that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot, and I always appreciate it. Until next time, I thank you for stopping by. I'm Salty, signing off.